Hi, I'm Ketsy. Welcome to my channel, Candid Crafter. In today's video, I'm going to take you guys on a short tour of all the paintings that I did for World Watercolor Month, and then talk about a few things that I learned along the way. So if you're interested to see any of that, sit back, relax, and let the crafting commence. Alright, so recently, if you didn't know, July was World Watercolor Month, and on a whim, I decided to participate. This is the first time I've ever did a monthly art challenge, and I finished the entire month, and I'm really proud of that. So, let me get them out. I keep it in this little container. Alright, so these are all the paintings that I did. So I'm just going to film a montage of these and put some music over it because I don't want to talk about every single one of these because that would take forever, and I want this to be a pretty quick video. So, let's begin. So that was everything that I painted for World Watercolor Month. I really liked the majority of them, but if I had to choose, this one was an extra, by the way. It was a picture I painted of some cookies that I made. These are called mirror cookies, and they're my favorite cookie because they're filled with raspberry jam. But when I did them, my dad said they just look like stars. He didn't know they were cookies. So I ended up doing a second painting that day, and that's the one that I chose to keep as the one that represents day 3 of World Watercolor Month. But that doesn't matter. Anyways, my favorite, I have 2 favorites. They're towards the back. Bear with me. Alright, this one is the first one that's the favorite. And it's really simple, but I don't know why, but I really love it. And I watch my own videos. I don't know if that's weird or not, but I watch my own videos because I want to see if, you know, the audio's right, if they look right, if there's any errors. So I always watch my own videos after I post it. And this is one of the shorts that I literally watched. I can't even tell you how many times I watched it because I love this one so much. It's just so fun, so cute, and I love like how the shadow makes it kind of look 3D. I don't know. I really like this one. And then my second favorite is this one. This is another one where I watched the short like numerous times. I love how colorful it is, and I don't know, it's just so fun. It was really fun to draw, and it was really fun to paint. This is one of my favorites too. And like I said, there's a lot that I like. There's a few that I don't like. I'm not a fan of this one, not because it's ugly, but this was on day 30, and I just feel like by day 30, I should have been doing things a little bit more fancy than this, but I could not think of what to paint that day, and I already knew that I was going to be doing something detailed the next day, which is the hummingbird. So I was like, okay, let me try to keep it simple, and I feel like I kept it a little too simple. The other ones that I really don't like are, if I can find it, it's the raspberry jam jar, and that's mostly because I rushed through it. So I rushed through it, and I noticed with the watercolors that I'm using, the Kirotake Gansai Tambi, the sienna, the burnt sienna color doesn't mix well with any of the colors that have white pigment in them. And I used, I think, one of the beige colors with the brown, and it just made this ugly mottled color. I don't like it. And then the writing, I should have took my time. Yeah, this one I just felt was rushed. This one I thought was a cute idea, but then once I painted it, I was like, not the best. So now moving on to what I learned. So the biggest thing that I've learned, first of all, is that my art style with watercolor seems to be to do a drawing with black pen first. Prior to World Watercolor Month, I was super new to watercolors. This is my first time using watercolors more than one day in a row. The first time I used watercolors was in high school. I did one painting, decided I was bad at it, and never touched it again until a little bit over a month ago. I did this painting. This is the first thing I did with watercolor, and I wasn't a fan of it. Yeah, I just wasn't a fan of it. This was a loose watercolor painting. Going into World Watercolor Month, I was like, well, okay, first I'm going to paint small because I paint small. The biggest I ever paint is the size of this, which I think is 9 by 12. No, 9 by 6. No, 12 by 9. There we go. I think that's it. Anyways, that's as big as I paint. So I'm like, okay, to make this easier on myself, I'm going to paint super small, and that's what I did. So these are all 3 by 4 inch, I believe, except for the 3 big ones I have, which are 6 by 4. Yeah, 6 by 4. So I learned not only my art style is to begin with pen, but also this is still zoomed in. I paint small. So the second thing I learned is you're not always just going to get better when you continue a specific practice for an entire month. Sometimes you expect for yourself to go uphill in terms of like getting better at things, but sometimes there's gonna be dips and valleys, and I feel like that happened with a few of these paintings. I feel like they weren't the best I could do, or I did try my best, but they just didn't come out the way I wanted them to. Like I said though, I enjoyed doing most of these, and I enjoyed the way that most of these came out, but a valuable lesson is that you're not always going to make things that you like. So I think that's pretty much it. I had a lot of fun doing this, a lot more fun than I thought I would. I kept up pretty well. I think I only fell behind a couple of times, and even then it was only by a day. I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud that I did it. I'm really happy with the results, and this is the beginning of art challenges for me. I think I want to continue and participate in other art monthly challenges. So that's all for today's video. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing, but only if you want to. If you want to see me paint these pictures, I have a playlist available on my channel called World Watercolor Month 2021, and I have all the shorts that I did for each and every one of these pictures. So I'll link that below in the cards for you, just in case you want to watch it. You don't have to, but if you want to. So with that being said, you never have to be the best, just try your best, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!